This meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission to order. First order, and we do have a quorum tonight, so small crowd, but we do have a quorum. So the first order of business is approval of the August 4th minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Objection to unanimous approval? Minutes approved. And we're going to move right along to Parks.
All right.
Guys up first.
Really quick, sorry to interrupt. Is someone going to be secretary who's not here, or does one of the four of us need to do that?
It depends on if you guys want to. Otherwise, I'll just watch the video and.
Well, that's
Do
what
them later.
I'll volunteer to do that, but I'm going
awesome.
to do that. I'm not going to do it the second. I'll just go back and watch the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Thank
that's
you,
a lot
Kevin.
easier said than done.
I know, but I feel I missed 2 of the last 3 meetings, so I should.
Oh, then you
I'll make
should.
it up.
You should totally
That's
do it.
right. Right.
You have to watch the same meeting twice.
You're so paid
So
your dues.
I'll
Thanks for
take,
bringing
I'll
that
take
up.
care of it.
Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, now we'll move along.
Okay, I think it's okay.
All right, good evening, everyone. We've had a really busy month. We're trying to get over a lot of projects. The first part of the month, using all of our seasonal students before they went back to school. So now they're back in school. We're down to, I think, 3 seasonals now out of our 12. So, but anyway, we've gotten over a lot of projects. I'm sure Shelley will touch on them, but the rec center, the roof project is starting. I've met with contractors up there, and mainly the mason contractor. We're trying to get those coordinated with the roofs because there's some on the leading edge up there, some mason problems where it cracked when the roof pulled. It took some of the mason area with it. Maintain equipment as needed, perform preventive maintenance. We always have a lot of maintenance stuff. If you use equipment, you're maintaining it. Our sports field maintenance team continues to provide weekly field maintenance, and not necessarily for games, but if you don't maintain or at least drag the fields occasionally, they get grassy. So we just keep maintaining them. Park staff performed a monthly playground inspection. That's something we do every month. The Penn Meadow Splash Pad continues to be popular and will remain open until cooler weather arrives. Even after the pool close, we'll keep it open until it's get to that point where we feel it's necessary to get it winterized. We continue in the mow and trim our parks and grounds. We mow and trim a lot of sections of this 960 or Branshaw Way out here. I know it's a construction zone, but it was really getting tall, so we cut a lot of it down. That's getting to the point where they're going to start grading and seeding here really soon. Our 2 landscaping crews continue to be very busy with weeding and watering this past month. We continue to water all of our new plants that we've planted over the spring. That's something we'll continue to do out here. All these new plants, the contractor's still watering them, so we won't necessarily have to maintain until the very end of the season or starting up next spring. So there's going to be a lot more plants to take care of out there. Our forestry crew continues to remove dead and declining trees. Mostly we're seeing ash trees that are really declining. So just a long, tedious task of taking out ash trees. We had sections of concrete trail polyjack to eliminate trip hazards. That's when they drill holes in the concrete and they inject foam underneath and it raises the concrete back up. So we're trying to stay ahead of all the concrete trip hazards. The more you get, it just seems like there's always something that's going to be in need of work.
Was that section of Penn Meadows that was shut off there on the trail?
You mean up by the
Just
concession stand area?
No, just on the.
No.
That was
That's shut. The south side of Penn Meadows is blocked off now for trail users because of the construction that's in that area that's going on. So we decided to shut that off a week before school so parents and students could get used to the detour the first couple of days, because they were thinking about doing it a week after school started, and then parents, they take their kids to school the first couple of days and get the route in their head. We wanted it prior.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good call.
That's actually a really good call.
I don't know if any of you get out to, I might have said this in my last monthly report, but it's this month's that it got done in. Park staff installed 20-story walk out at Liberty Center. I think I might have mentioned that at last, I don't know if any of you go out there, but that's part of the library. A lot of the work we spent on Babe Ruth. So we decided to get in there and do a huge renovation on Babe Ruth since Dubuque Street has the field closed down for the season. So we've stripped off a lot of the sides. So what happens over the years, the infield would just keep expanding because of the playing surface would get out in the grass and it just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It was way out of regulation size. So we stripped all of it off and we're starting to lay sod. We regraded and starting to lay sod back. So we're still working on that. We have the first base and third base line done. We just have the outfield left to do. We have water out there now. We installed water in the new shed. The shed got new sheeting, insulated. It's coming together. About all we have left to do on that new shed is put siding on it. So the water line has been taken out to the right behind the mound. 2-inch main, so we can hook up water there and we can water the infield
Spray it.
down. Cool. And now that we have all that sod, we're going to use it for watering sod.
Nice.
So just making some good improvements. We also took down the fabric on the backstop. The poles are still in place, but the contractor wants to take those out so he has a reference on where they go back. But that new backstop is going to start probably mid-October. It's going to be a huge enhancement compared to what it is. It's going to be 24 foot tall with a 6-foot overhang. But if you make it over that way and you look at where the position of the new parking lot, it's every ball that gets fouled off down the third baseline is going to land on a car.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to combat some of that with an enhanced backstop. So
Remind me not to park there.
yeah, please don't. Yes.
Are you doing anything with the bathrooms or the?
Yes, that is in the budget for this fiscal year, and this I'm hoping, as long as we don't have a heavy winter like the Farmer's Almanac is saying, we're going to go in there and start renovating the restrooms, and then the following budget year, I have additional funds. We're probably going to tackle the concession stand area and the upstairs. So we would have liked to have gotten a brand new building there, but the cost is. So we're gonna stick some money in and renovate it. So
Are you guys doing all that work or?
yeah, we're gonna do that work ourselves. Yep. We installed some new benches at various parks. So like we were talking about earlier, we just need to get around to the ones we talked about. We graded and seated around the tennis and pickleball courts. So
It looks really nice.
yeah, good.
Yeah. It's really nice.
So we had to remove a lot of evergreen trees there that were declining, and so we got it all back graded. We stump ground all the stumps, and we got it regraded. The south side of that will eventually, well, I'm proposing to put additional parking lot there, but the west side of it, we'll probably plant some trees in there eventually.
It's heavily used. Heavily used.
Oh yeah,
It is.
At night, the lights are always on.
Yeah. It's
So
always busy.
yeah. Well, I have been. It's under program.
putting them in, oh, okay.
I
But
just-
there's usually a lot of cars there.
I have mine.
Yeah.
Because the coin.
And they're there early in the morning.
Yeah, they are.
Like, cause I
Yep.
take my walk, they're like
Yep. Yep.
out there hitting it.
And moving on to tennis court pickleball, due to user demand at the tennis pickleball courts, we had to install new signs because it's so heavily used that they were getting to some conflict of players staying there too long and other players couldn't play. So we just spelled out the rules a little bit to kind of better define what the expectations are.
Kind of
Of players.
what are the
Yeah, what are those rules?
time or anything?
If you go over,
It's actually in here.
yeah, there's a picture of it.
Yeah. Limit play to 1 hour to accommodate everyone when court's busy. Yep. It's good.
So hopefully that'll help.
That's good to know.
One of our good pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Quite a few pictures this month. So, Park staff stained the faded lettering on the Cornerstone Park Monument sign. A very tedious job, but the guys did a really good job on it. I was really surprised. So we had power washed it because it gets that black, look to it.
Yeah.
And when they power washed it, so did the lettering. The lettering came off too. So we got some stain, and they restained it.
Do you take care of all the signs in like that in town? Like even the ones coming into town when it says
Yeah.
North Liberty? Oh.
Yeah, we take care of that too. Yep.
Sometimes I don't think you have enough to do.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guy.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, a lot of people just think we mow grass. So. That's not the case.
Come to a park board meeting, you'll find out. that
Yeah,
you don't
I was
exactly.
mow the-
gonna say, I think this is a really good education.
Yes. So I applied for a DNR forestry grant. It's because of the 2020 derecho and the ongoing Emerald Ash Board that's going on. So there are two grants. One is for the derecho, and one's for the Emerald Ash Board. So one's state, one's federal. There is a 50-50 grant. So normally the municipality or the grantee would have to, or the person receiving the grant would have to come up with 50% of the money. So it's a $5,000 grant. But now that the federal is doing it, that they're gonna it's gonna match. So I applied for $10,000. So hopefully we get the trees, and if we do, it's gonna there's some stipulations to go along with that. So we'll have to have a planning day. The DNR probably come out. It's kind of like what we did last year. I don't know if you recall from last year. We did the same thing, but we had to actually come up to 50%. But that date is set for Saturday, September 24th, weather contingent. So backup day is going to be Saturday, October 8th, trying to work around Iowa football games, home football games.
Yep.
But there should be, if we get the grant, there'll be 28 trees that we get, fairly good sized trees, like 2.5, 3 inch ball and burlap. And I have those sites already picked out where they're going to go. So that's just something that I hope we get. So, other than that, I continue to attend progress meetings with city staff, Shive Hattery, Dubuque Street Project Phase 1, Rancho Way Phase 5, and the Centennial Park Event Complex Design Concept. That design is coming together quite well. We're trying to get it together to apply for a Vision Iowa grant. However, the price tag on this is very, very high. There's going to have to be some serious fundraising go along with it, and seeking out other grant opportunities. So our main one right now is Vision Iowa, and that grant's due here real soon. So, but
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of publicity about
yeah,
that
you're gonna
in the media.
Yeah, the Gazette put out a real nice article.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it's
a
good.
great article.
yeah,
Is it
Yeah.
$17 million
yeah.
project?
Yeah. So we'll just see where it goes, but let's say we do get Vision Iowa grant money, that there's a stipulation on when it needs to be built by. So that should speed things up as far as when we break ground.
Something, but is the splash pad really contingent upon a grant, or is that a possible, if the grant doesn't go through, will there be a splash pad out there too?
I don't think Vision Iowa covers the splash pad, so we're looking at other grants.
No.
So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what I've heard. Doesn't mean we couldn't, but a lot of the main building and the splash pad, the waterworks and all that, there's going to be some things joined. So we're hoping that it can all happen at the same time. And finally, I attended programming and operational training for the new pedestrian tunnel right over here. It's kind of cool. If I would invite all of you after this meeting, if you want to walk over there with me, we can take a look at it.
Will you turn on the lights?
Well, they're supposed to be on.
Oh,
So we left them on after programming. So they're I'm working with Dan Lang with Streets Department. He and I are both going to kind of work on the programming together. The programming isn't 100%. We have to go in and start fine tuning it. So like different holidays will have different themes. So like for instance,
the
like
bridge and-
Veterans Day, 4th of July, it's going to be like a red, white, and blue theme. So it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Where's the control for that?
It's on a box on the side of the wall.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you control the one by US Bank too, or do you know?
Currently, the streets department, Dan,
They do it?
Dan Lang takes care of that. But we're gonna, once we get this one set, we're gonna
Coordinate.
mirror the
Yeah.
program down there.
That'll be nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have ridden the tunnel. I've ridden it now. I have to come ride it at night. Yeah, just like the High Trestle Bridge. over
Yeah,
there,
very
all the way
good.
up.
Yeah, excellent.
So, yeah, it's a lot of good enhancements. I know a lot of people are waiting on everything to be done
Yeah.
out here on 965, but
Meeting today. I've heard that maybe mid-September they'll start opening up the lanes. So
When's the plan for the next section?
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's not next year.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask that. I felt like that was going to be a dumb question.
No,
Yeah.
there is
No,
no
I
dumb
think-
questions.
There's no
No dumb
Well,
questions.
no, I just assumed it was like,
Our,
oh, that just must go next
There every
year.
month, there's no dumb question.
Our next big project is the city admin building, and those
Yes.
bids were came out and reviewed 2 days ago, I think, and one of them was accepted. So that project should start here relatively soon.
And be completed by when?
I think it's a 2-year project. Yeah,
focus on that area. I mean, there's
yeah,
cranes and construction everywhere you go. That's part of it hasn't slowed down, and the more with the hospital, just as we see that go up, what that's going to mean and get this all open up here. So,
yeah. It's gonna definitely change things. once
other
we get a
questions
couple
for
hospitals.
Guy? We ask him that because he knows everything.
No, I do not know everything. Far from it.
We appreciate it. We know things, the little things like the lighted tunnel and the different enhance, and we just want the community to use it, want the community to appreciate it, want the community to help take care of it. That we don't have any issues there, because that's important helps build community among all of us if we're out there taking care of things together.
Guy, can I ask a question about the dog park?
Yes.
So the dog park's got a couple trees that are in bad shape.
Yeah.
Are those
Yeah,
ready to get?
yeah, they'll be replaced at some time.
Okay.
Sometime, yeah.
Are they, is it something that somebody in the community could say, I'll purchase this tree for you? Or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some of them are, I know they're
Yeah.
really expensive, but
Yeah. While we're on the topic of the dog park, it's not turf grass out there. I can tell you that. For the most part, it's mostly knotweed. I'm going to try a different seed this round. We've just got about a month. Well, in July we got our new deep tine aerator, and I'm going to go out there and do a real deep core aeration, and then we're going to do a dormant seed. I just don't think there's enough time between now to get any kind of decent grass growing. So we're gonna hit it hard, and probably November is what we kind of shoot for dormant seed, and get the seed and let it just lay there over winter and see what we can get to come up in spring. So
I think the dogs are okay with it.
yeah.
The dogs
but-
are pretty darn
I know, but this dog isn't.
The head dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you noticed any better or reduced traffic with the lock on the gate?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I say
Yes.
that's you.
However, we probably get, I don't know, between 5 and 10 new applications every day
Oh wow.
for pets. So
Do you are we limiting the number of applications or just
No.
Okay.
no, we're just wanting, if you're going to use it, you should contribute to it. So
Sure.
yeah. I have had some people complaining that they've witnessed other residents letting other people in or giving them the code, but you're only hurting yourself if you do that. So
I'm up there twice a day,
yeah.
and I've seen it once, and I don't. I mean, without making a big scene.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly people that just think they're doing somebody
A favor,
or something or
Yeah.
whatever. But it very rarely does.
Yeah.
When I'm there.
Yeah, you're not going to cure all of it, but it's going to help some. But have you been getting along okay with the push button lock? system?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My dog gets impatient. Like, come on, Mom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I actually think it's helped.
Yeah, good.
I
And I'm
really
glad
do.
you're seeing
I
reduced
think
traffic.
it's like, it's a steadier, I mean, I just think it's better. Plus, I think people are realizing that they have to contribute to take care of it. And it's really not
Yeah.
$52 or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, I've had a few, I don't want to call them nasty, but they're nasty emails from people saying, that we're taxpayer, we should be using it. But on the other hand, you have to pay to use the pool. You have to pay to use the rec center. I mean, you pay a little. I mean, you're not paying a lot, but I mean,
Well, I'll say
Everything-
this publicly. Most of us who have a dog spend a lot of money on dog toys, dog treats, dog park.
yeah.
It's kind of a line item budget, so.
Another one of the amenities that we
Yep, it's
appreciate.
And it's awesome. So many people up there say how awesome it is. So,
Yeah.
it's just very nice.
I heard they like that walking so they can walk while the dogs play. That's what I
Yeah.
hear the most about this.
We made the one side too nice because the other two sides don't get used nearly as often as the one side. But people love to let their dog run and they walk the loop.
Yeah, that's what I.
Well, I think they can keep, I mean, I know for us, it helps us to keep an eye so that we can pick up for them. If you can walk on that sidewalk, it's
Yeah.
easier to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Is it at all like a possibility to want to shut down the main part of the dog park to let grass grow and
Yeah.
funnel everyone to the smaller parts until?
I'm
Who
actually.
is this guy?
I know. You have a very good idea. We've already thought of that.
Sorry. I see.
We'll see what next spring brings, but we may shut the large side down for, let's say, a month, or whatever, to get things starting to establish. And I know. I know. I know.
Do I need to show you
What
a
is
picture,
it?
Marley?
Creatures of habit.
You might want to show him your picture. I don't know.
Sad eyes, pop ears. Yeah.
Creatures with habit.
Oh, okay.
Anything else we can bug Guy about? He's not going to live down that dog. This dog here. Yeah, we appreciate that. We know that means a lot. Anything else? Okay, so Julie, we'll see what you have for us. Oh, Shelley. I just talked to a Julie before I left.
There we go.
Same here, yeah. Shelley.
Well, with August, within the recreation department, we think summer is kind of winding down. We did have the last 2 weeks of summer camp and the last 2 weeks of the summer swim lessons. And so that was early in August. So then it quieted down a little bit until the school starts back up. So we have a little breathing room. During that time, though, it is also our registration period for fall classes. For those September through December. And you can see that through the monthly revenue report starting August 1st was for residents, and then the Wednesday was for non-resident program registration. So that is one big month for revenue income. A lot of time during that time in August is when we see a little bit decline in our programming offerings as many families, instructors, kids take summer breaks or try and get back to their fall routine with school starting. So it does definitely die down a little bit for the month of August. On that note, one thing on there was we have begun the gym floor resurfacing. I don't know if you wanted to mention anything, Brian, on that. Brian's leading that project.
They're going to be done. I think they're done sanding it all the way down, so there's no lines or anything on it yet. I think they're going to start putting the lines on and put the first layer of finish on it. I think tomorrow is what he said. So
Both gyms or just
just
one?
Roberts for now, and then they'll take a week off, and then they'll come back and do the other one. It takes like 2 weeks. So
How many more times can that gym be sanded?
that one, the Roberts gym can be done 2 more times.
Okay.
Jones can be done 3 more times.
Gotcha.
And we are sanding it all the way down and relining it and recoloring it.
Yeah, recoloring it, and the city logo will be in the middle, and the colors kind of go with the city logo, and it's all going to look way different than it looks currently. So it'll be really nice.
Cool.
How long does it take, forgive my ignorance, but how long does it take in between, when you actually have to do it again?
It's usually every 10, 12 years. Depends on how much use
Okay.
and what is all on there and what we all do. I mean, it's kind of multi-use, the gymnasium with sports and activities and, different things that go on. So, yeah, that's kind of what they say. So hopefully we can get through this one and then it comes again in 10, 12 years. So we had issues with the finish this last time. So we're going to try to keep the same company for the entire next couple times. So that'll be because we always, every 3 years, we go out and rebid and get new bids and this and that. So this last time, the company that was doing it didn't rebid it at all. They're from Wisconsin. So I'm assuming it was too much to come here and do it and cost too much. So we had another company do it and it didn't adhere. They didn't adhere to each other. So it got bad and we just had to go all the way back down to where it was. And both gyms are kind of doing it. Robert's gym, the one we're doing right now, was probably the worst of the two, but doing them both now, then we're kind of on the same schedule and same track. So like he asked, the Robert's gym has been done once before, and you can do it about 4 times, they said, before you need to replace the whole gym floor. The one in Jones' gym, we had a water issue one time, and it flooded it, so that one was replaced, and this is the first time it'll be sanded down, so it actually has like 3 more times that it could be done. So, and if we do it every 10, 12, 15, it all depends on how much usage and what it looks like. So, but it's an interesting process to see it, because then they take away all the lines. And I asked him, I said, how do you figure out where the lines go again? You take them all away, and if you looked at it right now, it's really cool. It's really light wood. It's all the stuff is off it from the last, I think 2015 is when we did that gym before in Robert's gym. So it's really cool to see it right now. But he said, well, you put down the basketball hoops and we measured out and put the lines on, and it's just crazy. So those things are always fun to kind of watch. Like when we redid Jones' gym, them putting in the floor, it doesn't come in big sections. It comes piece by piece, and they're down there on the ground putting them all together. It's crazy, and the things are only this wide, and it's nuts. But it's really cool to see that done. So I'd say come to the rec center in the next couple days just to kind of see what it looks like now and what it'll totally change.
Maybe
when
take
they
some photos,
paint
put it up on the website.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be
we
cool,
could
too.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
I
a
don't know
great
if
idea.
they have done that already or not, but
Yeah.
sometimes the communication department will do kind of a, here's the beginning,
Right,
here's kind of the
process.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
it's a pretty cool process to see. Both the gyms together, it's about $40-some thousand, which, it's a lot, but it just doesn't, a brand new floor is like $70,000. So, or was $70,000 several years ago.
Right.
Sure.
Probably not.
Several years ago when we
feeling
redid Jones. So, but it's I think it's going to look pretty neat. And we met with pickleballers, and the lines are going to be green for the pickleballers, which goes with our city logo green that's kind of right there on his shirt. So it should look good.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
And the work they're doing now is refinishing all the way down. Every year, though, we do
Yeah.
put the finish, reseal it or whatever.
So they come and rough it up every year and then put another finish down, couple coats.
Like
So
polyurethane, whatever that is.
it's a water-based.
Yeah.
So
How many
tomorrow,
layers do you think we had on?
well, they normally do 2 a year, and it's been 2015 to now. So what, 14 or so layers?
It
of-
was time.
I mean, they rough up a layer every year, but yeah, I don't. Then they put down 2 more. So tomorrow will probably be a little more smelly. They're used to it, so they're like, "Oh, it's not going to be bad." But some people don't like it, but yeah. And some people think it smells right now, and that's just them, getting it all off there, and
Right.
there's not even any stain being put
Right.
down right now. It's just the wood and kind of that stuff. But they have big old machines that suck up all the, a lot of the dust and the stuff they're doing, and they just keep going over it. It's crazy from the difference from yesterday to today of just looking at how they do it, and it's crazy. But they say they do it. Just what they do. So the same guys will line it, and
How long have they been at it?
this week.
Just
So they
this
came
week.
Tuesday. They were supposed to come Monday. They dropped off their stuff Monday evening, afternoon, late afternoon, evening, and they started 8 o'clock Tuesday, and they've been there every day since. And next week they won't start till Tuesday because they have a day.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be done next Friday with that gym, and then go from there. So, because I think the sanding part of it is the
Yeah.
the tough part, because they said the floor was a little like this, so they have to get it down, and so, and they they act like they care, so it's kind of nice. It's kind of like they're treating it as their own gym, and they're not just hustling through it to get it done to get on to the next job. They're doing a really good job. So
That's awesome.
Good.
And then another project that we're working on that was supposed to start this week, but has been pushed off to either starting on Tuesday of next week or the following Monday is the roof replacement. And materials and all that were delivered, and they are, like I said, supposed to start next Tuesday and or the 12th, but hopefully next Tuesday that project will start too. So a lot of noise construction, I guess you would say, within the rec center. But that's good. It'll look good when we get done. Database-wise, I continue to offer that information. We're about 63% of our database is residents, 37% are non-residents. Every month it seems to increase a little bit, a couple hundred here and there. So either new community members or just new people from surrounding areas taking part in our programming. It could be a combination of a lot of different things on why that number continues. It's basically just everybody that enters an account within the rec desk database.
Shelley, on that, do you have an idea of what that number is for Tiffin residents?
I can pull that.
It'd just be interesting to know with the explosion of Tiffin is obviously they're going to eventually probably have their own facility someday, right? So what's that number like, and how does that affect the long-term look here?
I can generate a report and kind of do a,
Maybe for next month or something.
Summary,
Yeah, that'd be
yep.
cool. Just curious, kind of
Yep.
see what that is.
all right.
I would assume that some of the growth, especially non-residents, would be Tiffin residents, just with,
Also could be Solon.
could be Solon as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be just kind of curious to see what
North
that looks
Iowa
like.
City, North Coralville.
Yeah, right.
there
We're all
it's
close,
just-
yeah.
Yep. Yep. I can do that. Aqua programs continue to run pretty strong. We had both registered participants 63 and then drop-ins. Ashley also offered the lifeguard and the junior lifeguard class, just trying to start them younger, get them interested in water, and hopefully we can hang on to them as staff eventually down the line. So she offered a few of those classes, which continues to help. Like I mentioned, summer swim lessons ended, and then we took place our fall registration. Again, I think I mentioned that a couple months ago that staffing will impact the fall lessons to some extent. Ashley said it is improving. We still have a little time before those sessions start, so she's just trying to get as many people in, and hopefully they have the interest in teaching the swim lessons. So we're still hopeful that we can meet the demand that is out there for that. So more to come on that. Brian's been extremely busy with fall youth sports. I'll kind of pass it on to him if you have anything you want to add under.
we just started Supreme Volleyball Tuesday. We started flag football on Sunday. Soccer starts next week, so it's getting really busy, and we have quite a few people in all the programs. The flag football program kind of went up. Our numbers always seem to be higher than Coralville and Tiffin with most of the kids that we have. We usually have the most kids, and it just seems to keep ticking upwards. So doesn't seem to be slowing down. But so those two things are going on, and then soccer starts next week. It's our new soccer program that we're kind of starting to kick off and try to do and get it going. There's quite a few signed up for it, but they're still, it's new, so the numbers aren't gigantic, but we got to start somewhere and see how it goes. But
When you say cooperative, does that mean we're the host and they come in, or do we share facilities?
we share stuff. So like Tiffin and Coralville, we use their sites because we really don't have a place for flag football, so we use their sites. Coralville does the scheduling of officials and the training of officials. I pay the officials. Tiffin does, they use their site. He does like medals and stuff like that. So we each have kind of our own thing. We were doing it with, us in Coralville until Tiffin kind of jumped in. So we're slowly giving Tiffin more stuff to do and take care of. But then in the end, we kind of figure it out, and I say, hey, here's how much we paid for officials, and they say, here's how much medals were. And in the end, normally, because we pay the officials, we get money from Tiffin, and Tiffin and Coralville will send us a check for whatever the outcome is of our split. So
how much of the soccer program do we post here?
the soccer is all us.
All us,
That's the
okay.
only one. That one is just North Liberty. The only
Gotcha.
ones that are shared are flag football, volleyball, and then youth
Gotcha.
basketball this summer are the shared programs. The soccer is all
ours.
us starting at new. We've got pretty good coaches coming in and helping this next session. We got a Liberty coach, Jason Witt, that runs it. Was a CRSA guy up in Cedar Rapids, which is a club. He has some co-college, assistant co-college coach coming here. There's some former players that are at the university are coming here, so it seems like a pretty good group. So what they're going to get out of it when this gets going, I think is going to be pretty good if we can keep it going. The problem is going to be space.
Right.
Yeah, we've
We're
already
always trying
talked
to
about
squeeze
it.
another field in.
Yeah. Where are you going to find that for us?
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
right now we have 2 bigger fields and like 6 smaller
smaller
fields,
ones.
and we have another field that's kind of the goals are there, and we're going to kind of just do what we can with it just to make it look somewhat like
We'll
a
see
field.
what we can get laid out and painted.
Yeah.
Does each town handle their own registration, or is that
Yeah.
bundled in
Yeah,
one?
yeah. And we've talked about someone just doing it and then everybody coming together and doing the, like picking the teams and stuff, but that gets hard too, because like we have the most kids, so it's tough for, hey, let's just split our well, we really can't split our revenue or figure out who's coming here because,
Right.
they want to come to North Liberty, or who's signing up in Coralville because they want to be in Coralville. I mean, Penn kids sometimes sign up in Coralville for whatever reason, or Grant kids sign up in Coralville, which doesn't make a lot of sense when, they're probably the furthest away from Coralville, but they probably just picked the wrong thing, or they have some friend that, plays in Coralville. So, but yes, we have discussed that and talked about it, but, I think that'd be hard. But we got, and this year with referees for the flag football side of it, I put a thing through our system and kind of told them, here, this program's coming up. Here's how much we're going to pay $20. It's basically $20 an hour. And we split that between 3 towns. It isn't very much, but it's $20 an hour. And I bet we got, 15 to 20 high school /
good.
college kids. So
Yeah,
it worked.
that's pretty good.
It worked. I think mom and dad saw it and said, hey, you need to go. It's a Sunday afternoon,
Right,
yeah.
a few hours. It's not that hard. They're just little either first, second, third, fourth, or
Yep.
fifth and sixth graders. It's not
Yeah.
they're not all great football players. So,
Right.
it's a learning thing, and having those young kids come and help and hopefully stay on, and we don't have to worry about that. So we'll probably try the same kind of trick with basketball because we'll
That's a
need
great
more. It seems
idea.
like more for basketball is what we need, but yeah, we'll have 2 to 3 referees on a field where last year we probably had 1 or 2 maybe, and struggled sometimes with only having 1, and that just isn't fair to the kids or coaches or anybody. That one referee can't do it all. So
My son is in that program, and the 3 refs were awesome.
were they?
That worked out. I mean, I think 2 of them were probably, I assume they were Liberty football players,
yeah.
is what I
That's
assumed
quite
they
a
were.
few. I got quite a
Yeah.
few Liberty football players because
Yep.
Sundays work for them. And
Exactly.
like I said, mom probably said,
Yeah.
mom or dad said, hey, go do this, and
Right. Yeah, they were on it. They were involved. It was good.
So it should be, they're all learning. That
Yeah.
This last week was a scrimmage, so the parents or the teams didn't have a lot of practice or anything like that. But that was kind of every team, and then the referees got a little training in as also on that day. So
See, mom and dad heard your plea while watching the parks meeting.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
more officials.
yes, yeah,
It's working.
yeah, yes.
Well, and I think there was a bleed on the North Liberty needing officials. There was like a shortage, or I think I remember reading something.
I sent some through the whole system. So
Yeah.
however many people get that,
Was that you screaming,
Yeah.
that was
help?
me screaming help without screaming. Yes, I was probably screaming in my office, but yes, yeah.
And that is one good thing with the database is,
Yeah.
we can reach out and hopefully help cover
Yeah.
some of those
Yeah.
things that we're lacking on. So,
And it's another way to engage that teen crowd,
Yep.
into doing something, I hope that a lot are funneled into that and help. That's another part of community.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
further down
Going
the
on.
report, I do have the summer camp. The last 2 weeks of summer camp, we about 70 participants each week into that, and so that came to an end. Great job by Matt Fielder and his staff in offering that program. You also see that we had about 90 meals that we offered for our senior connection lunches, which is every Friday. So that continues to, I guess, increase. We're averaging about 25 to 30 seniors per day. Some a little higher, some a little lower. Under pools, like I mentioned, we're just open on weekends now until Sunday. Sunday is our last day, September 4th, of the outdoor pool season. The indoor pool, though, continues to be busy. And you can see the numbers there as far as different revenue sources with both the indoor and outdoor pool.
The Corville indoor pool is closed right now too, so that's, some of those people are coming here. And I know some people just re-upped for another month because I don't think it's gonna get done as quickly as possible, as it was planned to, so we're getting a little uptick in that too, of just other people coming here, so.
we're one of the latest outdoor pools open too, I think,
Yes.
in the area. So is the revenue back up? Was this a good summer for the pool, for overall revenue? Compared to where we were, we always measure pre-COVID.
Right. I can haven't done a summary report
I just,
on that, so I can look at that and do a,
hopefully it was a good year.
I'll make a note and include that next time too.
Just curiosity.
Okay. Weight and exercise fees and track use, as you can see, continues. As the weather gets colder, you'll probably continue to see that jump up as well. And then all our rental fees are listed there. What we've taken in on various rentals through the facility. Rest of the report is just my normal number. So I don't know if you have any other questions. One last thing I had though before that was Guy mentioned the funding for Centennial Park. There is definitely, that's the next, now that City Council approved going for off that grant for the big portion. We're trying to find any type of funding whatsoever for splash pad, for the ADA playground, for whatever we can do. So if you guys run across anything that's grant related that can maybe help with a park development, send it my way and I'll share it with the group. But there's quite a few individuals working on the funding piece of this
Yeah.
entire project. So
Anybody out there that's listening knows anything about any grants, any funds that are available for parks and recreation in our community. Looking for it. Continue as the community grows, the park needs grow. And I think everything's being used quite a bit from my observation. So, what else? Questions, concerns? Anything? I think one thing to note, as discussed, I think the city council, there's going to be a youth council on the proposed within the community. And not that that's directly has any influence on our commission, but we're always, it'd be nice to have some youth input into everything going on in the community. So I think it's out there how to apply for that in the community, and I think that's a progressive thing. And I think, we like to hear from all segments of the community. That's what we're here for, is to have parks and recreation for everybody. So anybody that has any input or youth out there, send them that way to the youth council, because I do think that they will probably have some ideas for us someday. Yeah. Anything else? Well, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn if anybody doesn't have anything else.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Wait
second.
a second.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any objection to adjourning? Meeting adjourned.
All right.